KFC Feits, super producer BC. Got a question for you. So I recently went on a couple of dates with this girl. I thought we kind of broke quarantine together or whatever. I thought, we were getting along great. After our last date, this was like a third date. I texted her saying, had a great time. Would like to get together again. Let me know when you're free. And I got this brutal fucking response, saying, hi, I had fun as well. I just think right now I need to focus on myself. Sorry, it took me a while to respond. So, absolutely fucking brutal. That one's long gone, no doubt about that. But it had me thinking, what is the worst breakup line you have ever personally received from somebody else or that you've heard of? I got to think that, I need to focus on myself right now has got to go up there as like a big bullshit breakup line. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Viva.
Well, here's the thing. Two things about the cliche lines. Number one, am I alone in thinking? I believe in it's not you, it's me sometimes.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I think it can be used as a total cliche. And I think ultimately a tinge of it means like, listen, if you were perfect, I would just date you. But, there has to be something about you that I personally don't like enough. But in the last couple of years, for me, there have been many times where I've told people like, listen, my life is a fucking disaster right now. And as much as I've been like, we've been doing this, or I don't want to lead you on, like I can't go that much further because I got nothing to offer here. So I think it's not you, it's me I think the problem is people use it's not you, it's me when they're like 18. And it's like, no, it's not, bro. If you're dropping it's not you, it's me when you're 35, it's the fucking truth, man. So the problem is the rest of the people ruining it for us when it's like, I seriously mean it. And I think that the whole I'm working on myself is a variation of that sounds a little more disingenuous, but it can be real.
Dude, I don't even know if I've ever told you this one. I've been dumped once, I think.
Right.
There have been just like mutual breakups and fucking all kind of shit. But then like my dump, what happened? It's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever like been involved in. So I got dumped. It was a complete surprise. I had no idea. It was like, hey, let's grab a drink. Not even there wasn't a thought in my mind like, hey, I might be getting dumped right now. This was like, let's go get a drink.
We're gonna drink.
Let's go get a drink.
Right.
We sit down, order 2 beers, and I got dumped before the beers even got there. It wasn't. No. There was no like warm up. It was just like, hey, we were thinking about maybe moving in together. She was like, hey, I don't think we should move in together. And I was like, okay. And she's like, oh boy, he didn't get that. Hey,
all right, honey, we'll just wait another year.
yeah. She's like, I'm gonna lay on a little thicker here, aren't I, John? So she goes, no, like I think we should break up. And I was like, okay. And as she's doing that, the beers arrive, right? No. And she goes, you don't have to stay. Like, it wasn't like shooing me. It was like really being more polite. Like, hey, if you don't want to keep sitting here. And I was like trying to be like cool, like, no, it's cool, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll have a beer, it's fine, we're friends, like whatever. I'm not hurt, I'm not gonna cry.
And then as I'm taking a sip of the beer, I'm processing in my mind going, this is completely fucking ridiculous. You can't just stay here after this.
You have to go. You have to leave.
So I'm trying to chug the beer, but it's a big one. So it's spilling out of the side of my mouth, but I can't bring myself to put it back down without it being empty. So it's just freezing cold beer spilling all down my shirt.
Make it stop. Make the story stop. Make it stop.
And then I put it down, and I don't acknowledge any of that has happened. And I just go, all right, well, I'll see you later. And I get up and I grab my backpack, soaked in beer, and just see you later.
And bear in mind, folks, this is what, maybe 18 hours after crying your eyes out at Miracle, right?
Yeah.
What a 24 hours you had. Cried in front of her naked, and then you spilled beer all over yourself.
And then guess what it ends with? Well, I'll see you at work tomorrow.
That's the best breakup story. Fuck off. That's unbelievable, man.
I remember like the conversation in my head like so clearly in all the drinking games I've ever played and all like the competition was like, oh, you got to get this beer down. Never had I been so like, dude, you got to finish this beer down. Like, you can't put it down and then just like have to stare at each other while I just wait to take another sip. I have to just finish this beer and leave. And it was.
Could you imagine like, so she went home and her girlfriends were like, hey, girl, how'd that go? She was probably like, well, I told him and he just dumped a beer on himself. He just poured a beer down his chest and walked out.
I don't know if you remember that show. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, the Netflix show I like so much.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The very opening skit is him like he's trying to open a door, but he opened it the wrong way after an interview. So he's trying. It's a pull, but it's a push, but he's trying to pull it, and he's just like committed to pulling it, and it's just like 40 seconds of him trying to pull this door open. That was me trying to finish that beer. It was like 40 seconds of just like beer spilling and me being like, I gotta get out of here with this.
Bro. That's so good. I feel like I was a bad friend during that. Were you upset by that?
No. It was.
Because that was the vibe I got. I remember you being like, "Yeah, that's over," and I was like, "All right, you good?" You're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay," but I didn't really think further.
No, that was one of the more amicable breakups I've ever had in my life. Where it was just like, yeah, that probably wasn't working. So okay, it was just like we like didn't even talk. We were just basically just like drinking buddies who like.
Yeah. Well, I know how that goes, man. You gotta when you got a relationship that's based on your social life, it's a house of cards that's waiting to come down. Because guess what? That social life eventually stops, and then you're fucked. So, oh man, that is if you've got a funnier, more relatable breakup story than John Feidelberg, lay it on us. I'd love to do we'll do the breakup episode. If you want to email us or tweet us or DM your breakup, it's got to be good though. I don't want to just hear well, I caught him cheating and I yelled at him. I need it's got to be some shit you chugged a beer in front of him.
I forgot this detail. Her phone was out tracking an Uber. I think someone else I think she was trying to get me out of there before the Uber got there with someone else.
No.
So it's just because remember she would always have she was she always got you rides. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah,
and it was so I think she was getting someone else a ride there, and I was just like, oh, I definitely know what that is. I gotta get the hell out of here before someone comes in and this dude with tears in his eyes.
Hey, John, the ex-boyfriend, what's up? Oh my god! It's again, anybody who was ever why is Feits the way he is? These are the fucking answers why. Okay, these are the answers why.